How are things going for everyone? This is Moji. BlackRock just gave a new talk about Bitcoin in which they talked about why it's becoming more popular. Let me play that for you. We've also seen a lot of BlackRock. They've been showing different slideshows that talk about how Bitcoin does compared to other investments during times of uncertainty and major events around the world. Some of their quantitative experts have been talking about how, if you really think about it, Bitcoin should make up a big part of your assets. 30% Bitcoin isn't crazy. A few years ago, we saw stories that they said mathematically it would make sense for an investor who is willing to take risks to put 106% of their money into Bitcoin or leverage their position. On the other hand, they said it would make more sense for investors who are less willing to take risks to put 85% of their money into Bitcoin. That's what the math says. They've been putting out a lot of different things on Bitcoin. They've talked about Bitcoin the whole time. The newest movie that is being shown today, there are a few other important things in the market that we will also talk about. Today, MSTR is setting some new records here. Please click subscribe if you'd like to see more movies like this. You might as well hit subscribe if you like these movies. You'll keep getting them from YouTube. There is also a link to Margex below the video that you can use to sign up and start dealing with leverage. Now is the time to do it. As I said, before the next move up, get ready. As you can see, all of our positions are very strong in the green. 61%, 57%, 126%, 24%, and 26%. Just open them when it's a good time, right? The most important thing is to open them when the market isn't very strong and people think it will go down a lot more. Then be ready for some volatility. Okay, get ready for that. Use the link below the movie to sign up right now. This deal you can use different kinds of security with Margex, which is great. For example, I have Chainlink as collateral, Solana as collateral, Caspa as collateral, and more Solana as collateral. This is helpful because it lets me play with some of my other coins while also looking at the Bitcoin chart, right? That would be cool if I won my bet on Bitcoin going up and got paid in other cryptocurrencies. So check this out below the movie. Let's begin. This is BlackRock Larry Fink and the people who work for him can't stop talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is part of every show. Every time Fink is in the news, Bitcoin comes up. Bitcoin is talked about in family offices and hedge funds. Quicken up. He then shows this new film. This video is what I want to show you. The head of active ETFs at BlackRock explains why Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are becoming more popular faster than other big technologies. I'll play it for you. I really spend a lot of time thinking about the future and the big changes that are happening in the world, society, the economy, and our portfolios. This is all in preparation for theme investing at BlackRock. Often this is about tools that change things and other times it's about changes in society. But we found that blockchain and digital assets are one of the technologies that has grown the fastest in the last few years. Our adoption slope can be seen on the right side of the chart. This is only a look at how quickly people adopt certain things. And you can see that blockchain and digital assets are being used more quickly than any other big change in history, like the internet or cell phones. This is true for a number of reasons. The first reason is that our business is becoming more and more digital. When we do things online like watch videos, play video games, or buy digital material, for those transactions it makes sense to use digital assets. This is especially true since more than half of the world's population is voting for new leaders this year, including elections in the US, Mexico, India, and the EU. This means that there is more geopolitical risk than usual, and people are losing faith in institutions, including trust in government institutions to keep the peace. More mistrust in central banks to control inflation, or something else has made the need for a global option to money even stronger. The rise of the young and Gen Z generations is the third thing we are seeing. At least in the US, millennials are about to inherit trillions of dollars. They are also beginning the best years of their careers in terms of earnings, and they are becoming more and more important to the economy. And millennials are very different from older groups because we, the millennials, were the first generation to have grown up with computers and the internet. We know more about internet than people did in the past. That makes it more likely that we will use digital money. Finally, the growth of the digital asset infrastructure is something that I believe has been very important to BlackRock and our journey in this area. Huge amounts of money in the form of venture capital and private equity have been put into digital assets to support amazing blockchain innovations. The rules about digital goods and how people can buy them have changed over time to become more positive. People with a lot of ability have left traditional finance to work in DeFi and help lead some of these new ideas. All of this equipment has grown up a lot in the past 5 years. So all of these positive factors are really making it possible for digital assets to become more popular among buyers around the world. So here we are at the early day point of 2.9 trillion. Every day it's different. They may have skipped a little higher or lower since we made this slide, but we could have focused on the two biggest digital assets so far. About 75% of the market value of all digital assets is made up of these two. They are also some of the most liquid digital assets. So we think that between them, we can really start to make progress in making more vehicles available to buyers. They skipped a bit, but that was from the Digital Assets Conference in Brazil. So they're going to this meeting to talk about these different assets. They'll show people what Ethereum and Bitcoin are, talk about their founders, market caps, and other things, and explain why they think it's growing so quickly. I think some of these numbers are interesting. They compare it to the internet, cell phones, and then crypto to show how many people there are in total. And since this is a log slope, just between 100 million and a billion is not the same as 500 million or 550 million. It grows very quickly. We think this number is more like 500 million or so, even though it looks like it's closer to a billion. I'm not sure if there are 500 million crypto users or not. I don't think we're that far along yet. I think they're using wallets or something similar, or maybe they have a rough idea of how many people own crypto. I think the number is a lot lower than that for people who own crypto. I could always be wrong since I'm not living in other places and doing polls there. I believe it's a lot less than that. Now I think the movie pretty much says it all, with all of its mentions of tailwinds like falling trust in the economy, demographic tailwinds, and infrastructure that is getting better over time. It's really cool that a high-level BlackRock executive is speaking at this gathering about why people are investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've come a long way in a year. That's just completely crazy. MSTR now has a new record. Bitcoins owned by MSTR are worth about $16.1 billion or $64,000 each. The market value of MSTR is $39 billion right now. That means the price for net asset value is about 2.4. Most expensive NAV extra since 2021. Since MSTR became a Bitcoin standard, the value of MSTR in Bitcoin just hit a new high. I'll show you what this means. This is the price of MSTR split by the price of Bitcoin. The value is now 0.003, which is the highest it has been since the Bitcoin standard. What does this really mean? You could say that MSTR is worth more than Bitcoin. Now, why does that happen? Bitcoin is only worth about $16.10. So why is its market cap set at $39.1 billion? It could be some hype. They may be trying to get their hands on MSTR before the bull run, which could be one reason. A big reason for this is that I believe the MSTR micro approach has done a great job of showing traders why they should be charging more.